My name is Isa Morales, and I've been doing Northwest Youth Corps for 4 years. This is my 7th session. Northwest Youth Corps means everything to me. I grew up doing this program, and it's really shaped me to be the person who I am today. One piece of advice that I would give a new crew member would be to never give up, because I know my first time at Northwest Youth Corps, I felt very challenged, especially as a young kid, being away from home for the first time. And it definitely feels like you want to give up at some points, but I didn't. And working through those challenges and struggles that you face just makes you a stronger person in the end.
I feel like my experience with Northwest Youth Corps has meant opportunity for me in a lot of ways. I went to school and got a bachelor's in photojournalism. I worked in the field for a little bit, and it was great in a lot of ways, but I was missing the outdoors and being in the forests, and that's kind of how I grew up in my childhood. And I was looking for ways to do conservation and get into forestry that didn't immediately require me to go back to school and get another degree. So I got a lot of vocational skills, I got certifications, I networked with a lot of really fantastic people and learned a lot about all of the different avenues in forestry and in conservation and in wildfire fighting that are available. And I feel like that started me on a new trajectory for building a career kind of from the ground up. And I've felt very empowered being able to work with power tools and getting a Sawyer certification and getting to use a chainsaw and hiking up giant ridges every day and felling trees. Like, it's very empowering to do that kind of work, to know it's something you're capable of. It just makes me feel like, it makes me feel really awesome, like, to be out here and to feel like I'm helping the forest survive like the next wildfire season. Also, it's just really, it's really empowering to be out here helping the forest with a chainsaw.
I was an interpretation and education intern. I got to write an educational program for the public. It was all about western red cedar and all of its traditional uses. Among other things, I was just able to experience what it was like more or less to be an NPS ranger here at Lewis and Clark National Historical Park. When I thought of a ranger, I thought of a person walking around the forest, more like a law enforcement type person, not an educator or a public speaker. I've never really thought of rangers in that way, so being able to see that there's more than just that in the form of being a ranger, I thought that was pretty interesting, really eye-opening for me. So prior to this internship, I worked as a tribal steward, or NYC Tribal Stewards crew lead, and we were actually able to work here at the park for about 2 weeks, and this is where I got introduced to some of the visitor center staff, some of the resource center staff, and just being out here, being with NYC really helped me open my eyes to what I wanted to do with my life.
Northwest Youth Corps implements something called SEED, which is something educational every day. So we try to do like environmental stewardship or lessons that are relevant to what we're working on. So we just did one that was about trail building ethics. So the ethics of like building a trail, why we build a trail, who we're building it for, and the impact that it makes on the environment. And by like creating a trail that makes nature accessible to people, we might be like creating a little bit of damage with this ribbon through the forest, but we're preserving everywhere else where people, you know, they'll stay on the designated trail, and then by making those areas more accessible to people, they'll develop a passion for nature and like want to explore more, and that's really cool. My mom did Northwest Youth Corps in like 1993, so she'd always told me about it, and so by the time I was 16, I knew that I wanted to apply. And then I ended up doing 3 more sessions as a youth, and then I did the backcountry leadership program in Idaho, and just like developed, I've always been passionate about the outdoors, but really developed a passion for Northwest Youth Corps' program, like their environmental stewardship, community, environmental education based, like those are all things I'm really passionate about, and being in the outdoors is very healing and grounding for me. Going on like a month-long, 5-week multiple month-long program where you're camping the whole time can be a bit intimidating, but Northwest Youth Corps is really awesome and understanding and supportive. Like, they've been at this forever, and they've got resources for people who are new to this, and almost all of the people that come out here are new to this. Like, it's an awesome way to get your foot in the door if you're interested in working with the Forest Service or BLM or national parks. Like, it's awesome. Yeah.